Oh viewers, something's happened at the last minute and I've had to change my plans. I was going to be filming something else, but we had to go for this 2021 Vauxhall Mokka 1.2 Turbo SE at Summit Garage in Dudley. But is this car any good? Should you care? Welcome to Contingency Reviews. So, as I said, I've been offered this car at very short notice, and I've just had to sort of make the most of what I've got, really. Hopefully this isn't too terrible, this video. So the current generation Mokka, known as a Mokka B, was introduced in 2021. I think actually maybe you could order it at the end of 2020, but deliveries didn't start till 2021. It's based on the same platform as the current Corsa and all kinds of other cars. Got the Peugeot 208, 2008, I think the Jeep Avenger and Fiat 600 and everything, based on the same platform as this. Unfortunately, I'm currently stuck trying to get out of this junction, but I'll continue talking. One thing I'm really missing is a normal handbrake. This car does not have one. The manual ones just have an automatic one, and it's not really ideal for a situation like this, where you have to disengage it quickly and then sort of head off on a 60-mile-an-hour road. It's very inconvenient having it's this little button thing, and so I'm going to have to try to hold this on the clutch as I get out, which it really is not the best. I really don't like automatic handbrakes on manual cars at all. Right, let's see what we can do. There we go. Ooh, wheel spin. Ooh, spinning round to the sort of further reach rev counter there, because this is the base engine. It's only got 99 horsepower. 0 to 60 is about 11 seconds in this, and I think I've just sort of proven a point by that. That is a nasty entrance to get out of if you don't have a handbrake to sort of help you, because the car would roll back if you're not careful. But yeah, once we're up to speed, it's perfectly fine. It seems quiet enough. Ride seems good, particularly on these very big tyres this car's wearing. This 6-speed manual gearbox is slick enough, but then again, with 17,000 miles on the clock of this 2021 example, you'd sort of expect that. You can also get other engines with this car. You can get a 1.2 128 horsepower. That has been upped to 136 horsepower in the manual models of the more powerful 1.2, as well as with the mild hybrid version that's literally just gone on sale this month. The 8-speed automatic models with that engine make do with the old 128 brake horsepower engine. You can get an electric car as well that's badged as the Mokka Electric now. It was a Mokka E, I think it's called a Mokka Electric now. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. So, just kind of driving through the streets of Dudley today, how does this car feel? It's not exactly demanding to drive. It feels like a heavier car than the Corsa, but it's based on all the other slanted stuff. You know, the DS3 Crossback as well is one of the cars that shares this platform. It's not as easy to see out of as the Corsa. The glass area does seem quite a bit smaller for some reason, and you seem like you're sitting quite low down or quite high up. It depends on your point of view. You don't feel as connected to the road as you do in a sort of smaller, lower car than this. But it's fine. Actually, this gearbox is quite slick. I think I probably want to go for the 128 brake horsepower version of this engine though. It just would be a little bit quicker off the mark, which would be handy. So I apologise if this is a bit rushed, this video, if there's information missing and things like that. I literally was offered this car for review about 20 minutes ago. So this is quite an early one of these. They launched at the beginning of 2021, so this is one of the first. It's in the base model, which is the SE. We've still got what's called the visor grille on here, which you can see is just this bit here, which I don't know if I like that or not particularly. It's just the way that the Vauxhalls are. I suppose you either you like them or you don't. One thing we have got on this car is enormous tyres, like kind of far bigger than you'd expected, because well, this isn't the sort of fancy one. This isn't like an Ultimate or a GS or something like that. It's just one of the ones at the bottom, which you know, is the cheapest one you could buy. And actually, you can buy a Mokka Griffin for about £22,000 still, which, you know, seems like a lot of money in the context of a few years ago. But actually, that's not bad for one of these of a car like this. Although there's maybe 29 to 30 other cars like this on sale now in this segment, so there's a lot of choice out there, but Mokka remains quite popular. Open up the boot. Oh, maybe we use this bit. Or do I have to use this? Maybe we can use this. Yeah, let's just use that. So you can't reach under there and open the boot, you have to use this. How strange. Okay. LED boot light. It's about 350 litres, but it's actually, for context, is smaller than the previous generation Toyota Auris, for example. It was 360, and in the context of like, I don't know, an MG ZS, of which I'm very familiar, which is about 443 litres, I think it is. This seems quite small to me, but there we go. No spare wheel, which is common these days. I prefer one, but no, there we go. We've got some hooks on here and things, but apart from that, there's not much to say. This car has got parking sensors, but I feel in this car, when looking at the actual button for turning them on and off, I think it might be like a dealer fit option or something, which is odd. In fact, let's have a look at the front. It feels very much to me like a sort of slightly larger Corsa interior, which is no surprise really, because these are based on the same platform as the Corsa and the Peugeot 208 in 2008 and about a million other Stellantis group cars. There we go. The key, normal key, because it's only an SE. Yeah, this is 7-inch display, this one. I thought we had driving modes in this, but I think that's only on something like an Ultimate or a GS. It's not on this particular one. The screen's decided to turn it off. We've got the current information here. Is it, you know, a bit more advanced for the Corsa, because you get this fully digital display. So move the wheel a little bit. There we go. And see what it looks like there. What I'm going to do is just pause the video here whilst I get the steering wheel straight and actually turn the ignition on so we can see the central display as well. Okay, so we're straight, we've got the central display on, and it's very similar to like a Corsa or an Astra, isn't it? And this panel down here is identical to the Corsa F, which is the current generation Corsa as well, at least the pre-facelift one. Sat nav, do we even have that? No, we don't, because it's only an SE. We've got DAB, so there's not really much to sort of do. That's only operated photographs. Got some options for the car, driving functions, auto dipping headlamps, tyre pressure monitoring, traction control. I think that's sort of it. There's not really an awful lot going on here at all. We've got the headlamps, and we've got to do with the doors opening on one or two presses of the key, and that sort of thing. That's really about it. Phone connectivity, you need to put in Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and then we've got that for the information. You can see here, look, the parking sensor button looks very, very aftermarket for some reason here. I don't know why that is. USB and 12-volt socket are down there. I've currently got my Wi-Fi plugged in. You can turn off auto start-stop. You can turn off the lane keeping assist as you would do in a Corsa. The main difference actually with this car is that all of them have got this electronic handbrake in regards to where you've got a manual or automatic gearbox, which I don't particularly like. So we've got no lidded storage cubby here because it's a base model. No fake leather trim. We have got some actual some trim on the doors, which is nice. What was that? Hard touch door tops. Well, that's a bit of a shame, never mind. We've got a soft touch dash, which is nice. Some of you won't be bothered about that. I, for some reason, am. And I like the way that the colours blend into the doors, the top of the dash there, which is nice. This is the 7-inch display because it's the base model. You can get a 12-inch display on the higher trims. And yeah, let's just go through here. Now, I think we operate it by this lever here. We just sort of go through, look at driving modes, personal, we can computer, there's all sorts of things on here that we can do if we want. I don't think you operate it through this. That tends to operate the sort of the radio stations and things on there. So that is actually all through this thing here, which I don't personally think this is the best idea. But you know, we've got driving data, there's trip computers and things like that. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of to do it through here. But tyres recognition's on there. Whether you like this kind of thing, I don't know. Some of you will, some of you won't probably. Just put it back to sort of dials and things, whatever that means. Yeah, rev counter's down there, fuel and engine temperature. Right, let's get in the back, shall we? Actually, before we do that, I quite like the fact we've still got this old GM style light switch, which was on things like the Astra J, which is fine. You still control for it, and got these nice big door pockets. You can tell this car is a Stellantis product because those electric window switches and mirror switches are right out of a Peugeot. There's also something else I need to check before we go any further, I think. Yes, I suspected the fuse box has not been moved from left to right hand drive, and so there's no room in the glove box for really anything. And the bonnet release is on the left hand side. That is typical Stellantis. Whether you like that or not, it's up to you. Right, now we can get in the back to that diversion. I told you this was contingency reviews, and that's sort of what happens really. The floor's quite high for some reason. It feels in some ways less spacious than the Corsa because the floor seems higher for some reason. It's not a, you know, electric car or anything. There's no batteries. And also in the back, that's a bit mean. This should be a trim panel, and it's not. It's a panel of plastic. So the entire rear door card is plastic. As I say, on both sides. The windows are really small as well, so it feels sort of claustrophobic in here. We don't get any map pockets. We don't get a rear armrest. And basically, it sort of says you should have bought the SRI model. Right. Let's have a look at the engine then, and marvel at what we could have won. So we got the same engine as in the Corsa that we tested. 1.2, what was formerly known at some point as the PureTech engine, a 3-cylinder with 99 horsepower. It feels a bit more lost in here because it's a taller car than the Corsa, but it is exactly the same. I don't fancy doing too much work on this. It all looks like it's a bit complicated under here. Obviously, if you had the hybrid model or even the Mokka electric, it would be even worse. No fog lamps, of course, because it's just the SE. It doesn't look too bad though for a base model, I think. But yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say before we take this car out for another drive. Gosh, this electronic handbrake is an absolute nightmare. I was just trying to get it to disengage, and it just wouldn't disengage. It's rubbish. Anyway, yeah, it feels comfortable enough in here. I haven't perhaps chosen the best time for a test drive because it seems to have developed into rush hour far too early on around here, but this is the only time I've got, so we'll just have to continue with what we're doing. I'll come back in a bit. Right, we're moving again now, viewers. I've since worked out there is actually, like, there are a lot of cars with automatic handbrakes and manual gearboxes and auto disengage feature, but I hate electronic handbrakes and manual cars. Brakes seem okay. Yeah, it's a pleasant enough car to drive around town. Of course, it would be better if you wanted one of those, it'd be cheaper as well. Yeah, there's not really sort of tons to say about this car particularly. In terms of driving experience, it's fine. It just doesn't blow me away in any particular way. I'm not sure that a car like this is supposed to. If you look at Skoda Kamiq or a T-Cross or MG ZS or Sanyong Tivoli or Ford Puma, only the Puma really is designed more for kind of enthusiastic drivers. The rest are just not, and I don't think this car really is aimed at somebody like me at all, which is fine. It didn't need to be necessarily, but it's just interesting, that's all. Right, let's see if the automatic handbrake disengages this time. There we go, excellent. Let's look now at some Vauxhall Mokka B trim levels. We have the black, the design, the Elite Edition, the Elite Nav, the Elite Nav Premium, the Elite Premium, the Griffin, which is the bottom range at the moment, the GS, the GS line, the Launch Edition, the SE like this, the SE Edition, the SRI, the SRI Nav Premium, the SRI Premium, the Ultimate and Ultimate Nav. I can see why Vauxhall have simplified their trim level structure in recent times since the hybrid came out and this sort of new facelift had been introduced, I think this month or something, because you don't need so many trim levels in a car like this. So viewers, should you consider a Vauxhall Mokka? Well, there are so many other cars in this particular class. You've got the Skoda Kamiq, the Ford Puma, the MG ZS, the SsangYong Tivoli, the Volkswagen T-Cross. I just don't know where this sort of fits, other than that they sell large quantities of these to fleets, and so that's why presumably the sales figures are the way that they are. This sort of base model, it just feels a bit stripped out. It doesn't look too bad on the outside, but you do miss kind of certain very essential things, in my opinion. So I would just shop carefully, and also I'd just be a bit careful about this wet belt engine that you know, has caused problems in the past, although this car is, you know, of an age where it probably isn't going to be an issue for quite a while to come, given that it's done, you know, under 20,000 miles. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more last minute reviews.